Good morning, friends. Cheryl here with inkedpulp, and we are back with another art before breakfast. I did some work on the Oliver twist to kind of get stuff together. I did decide on Oliver twist because we just did a Christmas journal, so I didn't want to do a Christmas carol because there's more out there for Christmas carol, but this makes Oliver twist a little more challenging because there's not as much out there. So I see we have one person joined. So I have a whole bunch of stuff here for us to work on today. Let me go through the digitals that I got first. And a couple of them I've cut out because I want to use them. So Mrs. Coggs had a digital that I purchased, and there was another I don't know if it was this one that was in there, but she had this image here, which I have torn out to use. And then she has all these other little images here. And then we had this page, lots of good images there to use. And then this page, oh, I think this is where this one went, but that's all right. I had this other image, and I'm not quite sure who he is in terms of the story because I don't really know the story all that well. But I tore him out and inked him up as well. So we have this. And then I found a bunch of other images on the internet. This one is actually from a movie, and it's very grungy. And I'm thinking I may have to shrink it down a little bit more. Well, maybe not. I want to glue him on to some, heavy cardstock and really like maybe put a stencil on here and some paste, some texture paste, and just really grunge him up. But I'm thinking about that for the cover. So I have that. I have this little guy, and he's all black and white except his eyes are blue. I love this image. And again, I may have to shrink it down a little bit more, but we'll use him somewhere. And then this, of course, is our cover. And then, remember I did these yesterday just because we needed something else to do? Well, I got to thinking, and I sewed around them. And I got to thinking, hi, Nydia, that it might be kind of fun to carry this kind of grungy collage idea throughout the journal where we're going to put stuff. And so I cut out this to go on here. Now I did put another piece of grungy journal paper behind this because he didn't stand out enough. But I created those two tags. What do you think, Nydia? Now, I also thought that I might do a little inking on these to really make them grungy. Like maybe some vintage photo. Thought we could do some vintage photo and then just put some grungy spots on here. I don't know how many, how much of this will show, but I don't want to put this down into the water. But yeah, I just thought I would give us a little bit more grunge. Kind of let it run down a little bit. And then I can do kind of a, there we go, there's that. Let's do some more here. And I'm going to leave this standing up because I want it to continue to drip. So I'll put it over there. And I'm not getting nearly enough ink on here. So let's really put some ink down here. Let's put a good amount. I'm loving this technique. I hadn't used it a lot before Art Before Breakfast, but I'm really loving it. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's some nice grunge. Let's do some more on this one. Okay, there's some good grunge. Now, let's dry those. I think I have my little dryer. I think it's still in my bag that I had packed for retreat. So I just need to go very carefully on this so I don't burn it. Where's everybody this morning? So it's coming up a little bit. So we'll put some more glue on that. I really need to get my other smaller heat gun out because this one is a little too hot, I think. There we go. So there's that. Now, shall we put another color or just... That actually looks pretty grungy. This one might be able to use a few more drips. Let me see. I'm not seeing the color that I want. I don't want to go like black. I think maybe these are going to be okay. I think maybe these are going to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these two down. There. There's that one. And here is this one. Where is everybody this morning? Okay, and I think that was going to go right about there. Maybe over a little bit farther. All right, there's that. And then here's this guy. Whoops. So What you got going today, Nydia? Yeah, I don't know where everybody is. So here are the signatures, and I already have like a spot picked out for these. So those are, I think, really cool. Nice and grungy, and they're, on this fun paper. Not much today. Then I've got right in here, I've got this little pocket, and I thought about putting that one in there. And then in the next signature, I've got the same thing. A little pocket there. So I thought about putting those two in there. And we need to do some more collaging, because I need to create some smaller ones. And we'll collage on these three. And then have those ready for some other images. So let me get, oh, hi, Lori B. Yeah, those would be cute pockets, or they could be little journal cards. Remember, this journal is not that big. So Lori B, I was showing some of the images I found for Oliver Twist. That's the one I've decided to do, just because we just finished a Christmas journal. And I just didn't, I don't know. Christmas Carol didn't work for me. So I downloaded a bunch of images, and then I took those pieces that we did yesterday and I put some ink on them to grungy them up some more. And then I put some images on them, sewed around them, so they are grungy pockets. So that one's going to go in there in the first signature, and then that one goes in the second signature. This is kind of white up here. I might put a little ink on there, but those fit just fine. And then I thought, let's carry that idea of using this paper and collaging on it. Let's use this idea throughout the journal. I'm looking for one of my little tubs that has a lot of scrap paper in it. There we go. I have some bowls. This isn't really scrap paper though. This is scrap stuff. Hang on one second. Let me find my tub with the scrap paper in it, and then we'll there we go. I found it. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Cheryl. I'll show what I did already this morning in a minute. Again, I just showed it. What I'm looking for are some grungy papers. Oh, there's a glue book. There's that. Oh, these all seem to be kind of book page things, which is fine. We can use book page, but I do want to have some other stuff in here. So I've got this. That idea that I had yesterday where I collaged on that paper, I want to keep that. And hang on one sec, guys. I'm going to go back over to all my boxes of stuff and see if I can find another box with paper scraps in it. Okay. Well, I cut my finger on my guillotine metal cutter yesterday, and I just ripped it back open again. Look at that. I just ripped it back open. So let me show you. These were the signatures, and this was the this was that tag that I had made yesterday. And oops, got a little fabric in my coffee. Oh, hey, April. I know. I always cut myself in the metal studio. So anyway, I put some ink on it this morning and I glued down the image, and it fits perfect in this pocket. And then for the other signature, I did the same thing. I put some ink on it, stitched around it, and then I glued this guy on it. And I thought, and those go really well right in those little pre-made pockets. So I thought what I would do is continue that idea of using this paper and collaging on it to make some of the ephemera. And we can just carry that idea throughout the journal. What do you think? And like I said, I really don't want to put, I don't want to spend days and days and days on this. So this guy is going to be the cover. He might be a hair too big, but he might not be. He might be just perfect. I do want to glue him onto some heavier, cardstock. And let me just rip him out here real quick. We could put some grungy fabric behind him, or lace, or paper. So here he is. He might just fit on there, but I might want to make him just a little bit smaller. I don't know. You guys tell me, but we could put some brads in where those little holes are. Then I thought about taking some texture paste and putting something on here and then grunging up the texture paste with some inks or sprays or something. So what do you think about him for the cover? I like him a lot. Oh, by the way, are you guys hearing the duck sound again? I'm using a different connector. Tell me if you hear the duck sound. And then I have this little guy. This definitely needs to be shrunk down. It's all black and white, but his eyes have blue in them. I love this picture. So anyway, so those are some of the things that I have to work with. You hear the ducks still. Okay. Okay. I didn't call the camera company yesterday. I don't know what the deal is with it. I thought by using the other plug-in port that maybe that would take care of it, but apparently not. So I'm just cutting little strips off of these papers for collage. Let's do, this is really brittle paper. We can use this. You don't hear it. Okay, Lori B hears the duck. What about anybody else? All right, let me see what's in this box of stuff that I have here. Ooh, look at these. This says London, and Oliver Twist was from London. We gotta have that. And then I've got a couple of other tags, but we'll hang on to those. Let's see what else I have in here. This is a fun box. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. Here's some of this paper. I have this that is blue. I have some of that paper. Some of this is Your Creative Studio. Some more of that. I just want to make a bunch of collage. Okay, let's play with these. Let's do one here. Let's just put that down there. You don't hear it. You hear a hiss. Oh my word. This camera's giving me fits and starts. I may just need to return it and get another one. Because it didn't do it at first. And I don't know. Maybe it's in my computer. That could be. I hate the thought of that because this is a fairly new computer. Now, the other ones, I inked up all the papers. I'm not going to do that this time because I'm putting ink on them. And I think the ink will take care of those edges. Okay, there's that. Oops. There's that. And I think I need to get some more of the music paper. I used it all up. I'm not positive, but I think I used it all up. So let's pull out of this opera book another piece of, I like this one. Every time I hear it, I see a quick autofocus. Okay. So maybe... That's interesting. All right. Maybe I'll call them and they'll know exactly what it is. I just didn't get around to calling them yesterday. My husband came home early from his hunting trip. And so I ended up spending some time with him. About that right there. There we go. Now we need some more stuff down here. You can put that down there and then just a little piece in the middle of something. You hear it. Okay. Okay, I'll get it taken care of today. Some of these have straight edges, some of them are torn. It's just a little bit of everything. I was looking to see if I have any other things in here that I could use. Ooh. This is a piece left over of that steampunk. And what else do I have in here? I have more book page. That's actually a card. Let me look down here in my... Okay, here's a piece of Your Creative Studio. Just right there like that. Okay. There's one. All right, there's one. We'll let that dry and then I'll cut off the edges. And I was thinking maybe, find my little pieces here. This little Paramount Pictures piece might fit really nice on there. Or I've got this black and white. So there's a few pieces that would fit on there. And I've got a whole bunch more to print out. And I've got some that are just all the different characters of Oliver Twist. Okay, let's put this down. So what is everybody doing today? Today's Friday, isn't it? There we go. There's that. And there's that. And I'm kind of staying with the neutrals because we wanted it to be grungy. When it autofocuses, okay. Okay, that gives me, thanks, that's good information because when I call them, I can tell them that that's when we're hearing it. This is French. Put a piece of that down there in the corner. Making Christmas candy and getting ready to ship. Oh, do you have my address, Tammy? I can make sure you have my address if you don't have it. Oh, I have to do my Marguerite Miller from last week, and then I have one due now for this week. So I gotta get on the ball. Okay, here's a little piece of this. So autofocus is the culprit. Okay. Okay, there's that. Now let's put a little piece of green up here. All right. Some Happy Mail. Oh, I love Happy Mail. I will send it to you. Just did it when it's autofocus. All right. Thank you, my troubleshooting friends. We've narrowed it down to a problem with autofocus. I'll see what the camera people have to say about that. What did I do with... There it is. It fell on the floor. I had my little... Okay, and now I could have this little piece that says introduction. I don't even know how much of this we'll see, but we could put that there just for something fun. Introduction. And then I need one more little piece here. Let's see. Oh, how about some of that music paper that I just tore out? What did I do with it? Well, here's a little piece right here. There we go. Edible Happy Mail. Oh, be careful when you say that. We don't want those wacky edibles. All right, there's another one done. So we've got two of these. Let's do the third one, and then we'll tear out the edges and grunge them up with some ink. Let's see. Let's put her up in the corner. Let me put her up there. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. That was the first thing that popped in my mind because I hear people talk about edibles, and I personally have never done that stuff, but I hear people talk about it. Let's put that green right in the middle. You may, oh, don't do that to me. I take too many medications to mess with doing anything like that. And then how about a piece of this? This is a replica. And it's got Amsterdam on it as the address, the shipping address, which is cool. It's not London, but okay. And then let's just put this piece here. And so for those of you, I've had several people tell me, oh, I can't do collage. I can't do collage. Well, you see what I'm doing. I am just picking up pieces out of boxes, out of off of my desk. It doesn't have to be anything special. Let's just put that down there. It's just pieces of paper. Because you know what? At the end of the day, if you look back at those tags that I made, you don't see a lot of the collage. You know, if you like this guy, you don't really see a lot of the collage. It's a background, but I don't know, it just doesn't really matter what the paper is. You just got to get some stuff down. And let's put this down the side. It's just a background. And I don't always like the way my collages come out. But like I said, it's just background. And let's see what else I have here. I want to get something a little different. I don't want to put a rose on there. Let me look down here beside me because I've got all kinds of here's a piece of from that opera book. Could even put it on there sideways. That might be a little too dark. I've got a whole big old box of paper scraps. What about a piece of this right across there? I kind of like that. I like this paper with the leaves on it. Okay, there's that. You know what I don't have on here? Is any music. So we could put that down there like that. again, that's right in the middle, so it probably won't. So is this how you guys collage? You just start picking stuff out, and I need a smaller bit of text up here. So maybe this one. There. All right. What about the rest of you? Is this how you do your collages? Tear that down there. And that was the third one. So that's it. And I think that's probably all we'll make for this journal. Nobody's talking. We don't have very many in here, and those that are here are very quiet. Why is that? All right, now that these are dry, I'm going to keep all these little pieces because they're very good for collaging. I need to make a collage box with just little pieces of stuff in it. Pretty much, that's how you do it. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's just, you know, throw some pieces down and I found out after yesterday that this works much better when the glue is at least somewhat dry. When it's wet, it's just too hard to... That's not going to tear. I try collage, but I never... Well, you have to just... Like, I don't know, and I'm no expert at it, so don't take my suggestion as gospel, but what I do is kind of pick a palette. Like I wanted to go neutrals with this. Neutrals are usually my palette because you can put anything on top of a neutral. And then just go through the stuff you have and tear it into various pieces, you know, like that. I mean, it's not rocket science by any means. Let's see if I can tear this one down a little. Some of these don't want to tear. Okay. And I'm purposely leaving them kind of jagged at the edges. See, I hate doing this because it always tears over the paper I'm trying to keep. I either need to take it way over so I have enough to grab hold of, or try to fit it right up to the edge. Tear it before I put it down is probably what I should do. Hey, Mike. Mike joined me yesterday for a live session. I made a copper bangle. And Mike, after I looked at that, I didn't like the folds in it. They weren't deep enough for me. So I'm going to go back over it today and just put deeper folds in it. So I'll just anneal it and keep working on it. But you guys got the idea. Whoops. That's not glued down. Yeah, it needed deeper folds. It really did. And so, because the one in the picture has really deep folds, and that's what my customer ordered on or from. And I don't want them to be disappointed and get it and say, oh, this doesn't have deep enough folds. But you guys got the idea. I mean, so I did like a fold form copper cuff bracelet yesterday, and it came out pretty. It just needs to have some deeper folds. Yeah, yeah. It isn't it amazing how you just start with that flat piece of copper. Well, this is just not wanting to tear, and I know Lori B put some water on it, but I'm just going to go along here and tear it because we're going to ink it up, and we're going to ink it up and sew around it, and it'll have, I just need to get some of this off of here. All right, so there's that one. Oh, I need this top layer. This book page is tearing really well. All right, so there's that one. And now this last one that we did. Let me see if I can just tear it this way. I use my ruler on those bigger ones and it worked just fine. But these, yeah, it is amazing. That's the thing with metal, but it's like with anything. Like, look at the journal. We started out with an Uncommon Goods catalog and made it come to life. So it's not just the metalworking, where we have that magic. It's really in any of the art forms that we do. I mean, Mike, he starts out with a slab of wood and turns it into beautiful things. And the rest of you, I mean, Lori B's journals are awesome. And she starts out with nothing. And Cheryl, Crafty Shamrock, hey Pam. Hey Pam, have you been to your P.O. box? I just have to ask. Okay. There's all of those. Oh, I'm bleeding again. When I first cut it, it didn't bleed at all. And then as it sat there and the blood started coming to the surface, it started really bleeding. But Pam, have you been to your P.O. box? All right, let me go and, well, let's ink and, oops, I got one of my hairs stuck in there with the glue stick. I've got like 3 pairs of scissors out here. Oh, just got in from working. Oh, April, I don't do any of that stuff. Those are my battle scars from the workshop. Hi, Stacy. If I'm lucky, I put a Band-Aid on it. If it's really bleeding and I can't stop it. But usually what I do is, there's that hair. Usually what I do is just wrap a paper towel around it till it stops. Sometimes I put super glue on it. Unless it's really bad. Okay. You might or might not have something in there. The nurse is screaming. Look it, I got a little bit of blood on my tile here. I know. I don't So I'm gonna go around and ink these up, and then we're gonna put ink on it, and then I'll sew around them. And these can be either pockets, they can be little journal cards, they can be flip ups, they can be anything. Well, tell your hubby to get over there. Yeah, I agree, Mike. I don't think, plus it's not super sanitary. I mean, I don't have any diseases or anything, but that I know of. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have diseases or anything, but still not a very safe thing to do. Although I would be foolish if I told you, and I think, Mike, you'll agree with this. I would be foolish if I told you that I never got on a metal project, but those go through heat and tumbling, and so they get pretty well cleaned. But when you work with metals, I mean, you just can't help but cut yourself sometimes. It's just kind of the way it is. Yep. I've got so many scars and little things, and I've burned myself pretty bad a couple times. I had a piece that just an enamel piece that had just come out of the kiln, and I dropped it down onto, I use a cookie sheet to put them on when they first come out because that steel pulls the heat out of them and they cool down faster. Well, it had just come out. Now those things heat up to, I usually heat them up to about 1450 degrees. And as soon as you pull it out, the temperature starts going down. So it wasn't quite that hot, but it was still over 1,000 degrees. And I picked that sucker up. I don't know what I was thinking, but I picked it up off of the cookie sheet and I dropped it as soon as I picked it up, obviously, because it hurt. And oh my gosh, the blister and I was thinking these people that are in the hospitals with like major burns, I don't know how they live on some like major painkillers because that finger, the only way I could keep it from just burning like crazy was to keep ice on it, like in a paper towel. Hi, Pam. I mean, Paula. I went to Rosita's sale last night. I really don't do many sales anymore, but she hadn't had one in a long time. And Paula and I were in there bidding on a few things. I got something really cool. Okay. See, here we go. I got two of these. Here's the third one right here. I just don't know how I can lose stuff. Yeah, that thing was really bad. April. I mean, it really, but I mean, I didn't hold it very long. It didn't have contact with my skin all that long because, yeah, I'm sure there is. I just don't have anything like that, Mike. I should get some and keep it in the studio in case I need it, but I don't have it. just keep, when I burn it that bad, I just keep replacing the ice. And I mean, it'll take a couple of hours for it to settle down. Yellow gauze. What's the significance of a yellow gauze? Boy, this dauber's about worn out. So what's special about a yellow gauze, Mike? I burned my one hand badly when I was a kid. Oh yeah. I just cannot imagine. I had my mom. Oh, it won't stick. Oh, didn't know that. Um, my mom, who was completely estranged from the family. I mean, nobody had. It's a long, long story, but she chose not to have anything to do with anybody, and due to some mental issues. And I got a call one day. She was out in Washington State. I got a call from the hospital. She had apparently had me listed as emergency contact on some paperwork because she was unconscious, so they couldn't have asked her for it. But she she was living in it wasn't, maybe it was assisted living. It wasn't like a nursing home or anything, but it was, um, an apartment complex where she had her own place, but there were people there. So maybe that's assisted living. Anyway, she was living in there, and it was a no smoking place. And she had gone out on the balcony and was smoking, and it was like midnight or so. They caught her on the security cameras doing that. They didn't know she smoked because she wasn't supposed to be. And oh, okay, I'll have to get some. Um, so she went out and was smoking, came back in, sat in a chair, and she still had her coat on. And I got to think there was polyester, like in the lining or something of that coat. And she sat down in her easy chair and lit up another cigarette. Well, she fell asleep and dropped the cigarette, and she had really severe burns. By the time they got her to the hospital, I mean, she was unconscious, and she ended up passing away from it. But I just thought, what a horrible, even though she was estranged from the family, she was still my mom. And I just thought, what a horrible, horrible way to die. So here I go talking about morbid stuff again. I will have to get some of that, Mike. So I'm just grungying this up. Now, I want to grungy with one other color. Should I put a green on there? Or should I try some rusty hinge or like a yellow, like a fossilized amber? What color should I put with this? Thumbs up, please. Yes, I got a thumbs up too. Thank you, Paula. All right. So there are those guys. What other color should I put with this? Because I do want to do one more color. What do you guys think? So you see that collage now is hardly recognizable. I don't think you can do collage wrong. Just stick with kind of neutrals. Don't go with real detailed images until you get to the focal, the top layer. And you can hardly see that. And then if I put a focal on top of it, it's going to be even. All right, you guys, what color goes with this? Mike, what color should we put with this? Lori B, what color should we put with this? I haven't seen you talking in a while. I can pull out some of the options. We don't want cracked pistachio, no twisted citron. Mowed lawn is too bright, I think. I have crushed olive here. I just don't think they can be that bad. I honestly don't. I've got fossilized amber. Pick up on the small patches. I could put a blue on there too. I'm really partial to green with the brown. Oh, splatters. Oh, yeah, let's do splatters. I do have old paper. Is this a good one? Not very dark. Either that or my pad's just not very juicy. So let me do some old paper and then we'll splatter with maybe black. I've never used this old paper. I have it. Obviously, I have it. It's right here. And it is a distress. Oh, this is ink, not oxides. I'm not seeing it much, Cheryl. Maybe my pad isn't. I'm going to go with crushed olive. Yeah, it is kind of green, but it's so light, it's not showing up on top of these other colors. Because it's so light. Maybe on a more solid piece of paper, it might. There we go. Just a few spots of the green. I love this technique. I had never done this before Art Before Breakfast, and I absolutely love it now. These are looking, ooh, that's really cool when I rub it. Look at how grungy it's making it look. I'm going to do more of that because I really like that. Yes. I like that a lot better than just the, can you guys see how it combined the inks and it just did really cool. More so than just dabbing it. Like, see right here? So here's another, I don't know if it's a new technique, but another option. If you put down a second color, rub it real hard into that color and it'll mix the two. And those are both very grungy. Okay, now we want to do some splatters, right? Some black. Let me get everything out of the way because we know this stuff goes everywhere. And let me find, I don't know, I need to order some new brushes. What kind of brushes do you guys use? I don't have very good brushes anymore. Yeah, I know. It really gives a nice grungy look to it. Now, I've got this India ink that is ink, so it's, yeah, I really like how that came out. And then, so if I put the black splatters, and then I also have, I need to make sure and get them out near the edges because that's the part that's going to show. We're going to put focals on them so it won't show in the middle as much. Ooh, that one's got some nice big splatters. Look at that one. I'm trying not to move these around because I don't want to get the black paint all over the back. And if I move this, it's gonna, all right. There's that. Let me put that in that jar. Hang on, I gotta put a little water in here so it, okay, now April, I would venture to say that you really can't even see that collage anymore. Hang on, let me clean this up. I didn't get it too bad. I got some on my bone folder. That'll clean off. And yes, I know I could mop this up with something. Oh, maybe I will, because that little pattern right there is really cool. Oh, and it's got the green coming through too from that antique paper or old paper or whatever it was called. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna make sure to get something over the whole thing so we don't have all that white showing through. I mean, it's still bright light colored, but look at that grungy piece of paper. Got more of that green down here. Oh, look at that. I'm glad I did this. I really like this. All right, look at that piece of paper. It's got some of the greens in it. You were screaming it, huh? Yeah, it came out really nice. Now I need to wipe it up. And I'm probably going to have to go back over it with some alcohol because some of these little splatters dried on here. But that's all right. I can do that. I can do that later. All right, now these little guys need to dry, and then I need to, we're an hour and 10, so I'm going to let these dry naturally, and then I'm going to stitch around them, and then tomorrow we'll turn them into pockets or, you know, some kind of ephemera for our journal. But I'm just going to let these dry because if I put the heat gun on them, it's going to blow them in different directions, and I don't necessarily want that. I just want them to dry. So there we go, you guys. No, not yet, unless it's out in the mail. My mail doesn't usually come before 7 and sometimes as late as 6 o'clock. So no, not yet. Big Mama would love it. I know she would. Where is she? Look at all that grunge. Who else is our grungy people? I know Lori B. Look at that, Lori B. Who else is grungy? Cheryl, Crafty Shamrock, likes her grunge. What do you think of that? And April, I'm telling you, if you can discern that exact collage, you're better than I am because I don't really see it. I mean, I see it, but it's just one piece now. Yeah. Oh, you know what else I can do on this? Hang on a sec. Let me show you something. I know we got to go, but I'm looking for like a credit card kind of thing. There's one. This is the other thing that we can do. I'm going to get some. Yeah, I really love them too. I'm going to take a credit card. Have you guys ever seen this trick? Oh, come on. There we go. And you put little lines. I used to love to do this. Look at those little lines on there. You see that? It's just more texture. There we go. You don't have to do a whole lot of them, but I love, there we go. That one's going on well. I love this texture. See the little lines? Yeah, I know, Cheryl. Isn't it fun? I mean, it's just, again, it's really subtle. You don't see it a lot, but it's there. And it's just a little more texture in the background. I learned this in my mixed media days. Some of this paper's not taking it very well, but that's okay. It's just hints of it. Let's do one down here. There we go. Again, just little extras. Yeah, they're very thin. If you want thicker lines, you'd have to use something a little thicker. Like I suppose I could use that edge of that bone folder. I'm trying to do this where the ink has already dried. There. See those lines on there? Just little bitty lines. Like I said, some of this paper's not taking it very well, but anyway, one last little technique, and these things are really grungy. I love them. Grungy, grungy, grungy. All right, ladies and gents. Hi, Tex, Judy. This is the grungy for today. And we'll come back. You like the thin? Yeah. Yeah, the thin is really nice. There, like I said, some of them didn't show up, but it's okay because parts of it showed up, you know? It's like it's supposed to be grungy. So anyway, there's a new little technique for you. Maybe I'll have to do a 12-minute tips on that. All right, ladies, I'm going to call it a video. We're an hour and 16 minutes. Lori B, we're getting closer to that hour and a half that we're going to start. All right, we'll decorate these and find something for them in the journal tomorrow after the splatters have all dried. And I love this where it says introduction. And you can hardly see it now, but it's there. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow, Saturday, and we'll do some more. All right, thumbs up if you haven't, ladies, please. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.